What's good, Nerdy Nation? Welcome to the Nerdy Side Up. I'm Ben.
And I'm Lou, and welcome to the show.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yes, very, very well. Busy week.
As always.
As always. But it's been a mega couple of weeks for the podcast. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we've managed to get one out, and it's just been busy. I think the first thing we should really have a conversation about is the weekend just gone where we went to our first event, the Kent Card Show in Ashford.
Yes, we
and
did.
It was a great time.
Yes, we had a great day from start to finish. I think the best part of the day was getting to meet people that we've been like chatting to and networking with online. Finally in person. We managed to catch up with the Collectible guys.
Yeah, which was great to see both of them.
Yeah, we just hit the ground running. It didn't. I think we forgot to introduce ourselves, but we was just like, that's it. It was good.
It was almost like we were old friends, really, wasn't
it? Chris from On Fire Trading Cards.
Yeah,
nice to finally meet him.
Yeah, legend.
RR Collectibles UK, Poker Spice. I mean, I could go on, but like literally, if we saw you, it was great to meet you.
Yeah,
if we didn't get a chance to catch up.
Next
who
time.
knows? There's we might see you throughout the
Well, there's another card show which has just been announced for September, hasn't it? So
yes, hopefully see you there.
Yeah, big shout out to obviously everyone we met on the day. It was a great day all round, and I think we need to give props to Dan and the Sub Centre for putting it on, because it was a really great day. It really went smoothly. A bit on a personal note as well, big shout out to Chris from On Fire Cards. Struck a deal for my Poncho Pikachu, which meant I could finally get the final piece of my Generations collection. So I was buzzing about that, absolutely buzzing about that, and I can't wait to see what grade he gets on the Poncho Pikachu.
Yes, he sent it for grading. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get from there. But yeah, mega day, and it was great to meet everyone that we met. And if we didn't get the chance to have a conversation, I'm sure we'll get the chance to have a conversation at another time.
And I know, just going on that another note, some of the people that we met with, we are looking at getting them on the podcast very soon. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just got to work out a few technical issues.
Logistics.
Yes, definitely not my strong point.
Nor is it mine.
Look out for some guests on the podcast very soon.
Yeah, indeed. Looking forward to that.
So moving on from a great day, the new Venom trailer dropped a few days ago.
It did. And I, for one, thought it was very, very good. However, we all know I'm not the expert. So deep dive into comic book films with Lou.
Yes. Again, don't get me wrong, I did think it was a very good trailer. Obviously, it's the last one with Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brooks. So it'd be quite sad to see him go. But, things happen, don't they? And stuff like that. One of the key points that I'm probably going to go a bit further into, which I know confused me and a few other people online that I've chatted with. So bear with me while I go into this. So cast your mind back to Spider-Man No Way Home. End credit scene. Tom Hardy shows up. He's in the bar, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Sees the video.
Yeah.
So that lead us to believe that there might actually be Spider-Man across that, although it hasn't been confirmed yet. Not saying that it isn't. It's just this is what it is. So obviously in the trailer we see that person whose name I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce.
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
You still did.
Ejiofor? Something like that. The British actor.
Yes, you did it way better than what I would do it. So thank you for that. He is obviously reprising his role as Carl Mordo. So he was actually introduced in Doctor Strange and returned in Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So
that was a strange film.
That was a very strange film.
Yeah.
I think I could probably watch that again and still really not understand what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
But the character is worlds away from the one seen in the Doctor Strange franchise. So obviously he's kitted out in army gear and he's leading a gang of operatives to capture Venom. So that, to me, indicates that he's playing a different version of the character altogether. So it's confusing a few people, the fact that Mordo can be seen at the same location Venom is based in No Way Home post-credits, like the sequence there, meaning that this film is technically or theoretically set within the MCU, and Mordo should be playing the same character we've seen before. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not quite sure.
I'm kind of with you there. Yeah.
So that was the main point I obviously took away from it, from my sort of comic book knowledge that is sometimes on point. If anyone wants to chip in and see what they think,
absolutely, it'd be interesting to hear what
I'm all over
think,
it.
But I think the general consensus from what I've seen in the world of the internet is they seem to be fairly consistent across the board on that. It seems to be a different portrayal of a character which is in the same universe that was prior. So yeah,
I think I suppose you could say it's no different from Chris Evans, who was the Human Torch in Fantastic Four, and then was Captain America.
Yeah,
so it can work, but
although that is one of my, if not my absolute favourite trophy from Lego Marvel superhero is when you have Captain America and the Human Torch, you get a trophy. It was like brothers, is it you sort of thing. It's great, yeah. Great,
like the Spider-Man one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a great trophy. It's a really funny trophy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, we will go see it.
Absolutely. But yeah, interesting take, and it'd be interesting to hear if anyone has a similar sort of ideation on that. Moving on ever so slightly, Acolyte launched on Wednesday. Have you seen it?
I have. I've watched the first two episodes.
So
I'm down. But I'm interested to hear your take on it.
So I know it's very fresh. So I'd like to have a very, very small, non-spoilery chat in relation to this, if I may. I think it started off really well.
It has hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's a new time within a universe, but it's not a million miles away from the universe, from the time in the universe that we know today with the Empire and the rise of the Empire, as it says at the very beginning of the first episode. It just brings in a lot of questions as to what this series could move into in the future.
Yeah.
You think like Ahsoka, where you want a season 2, but there's just so much they could dive into the stories of Thrawn, they could dive into the stories of why he was banished and how the Jedi.
There's so many branches.
There's so many branches that you could move off into. And this new Acolyte series, even in the first couple of episodes, really does sit there and make me think, how many branches could this move into? How many origin stories could this move into?
Yeah.
In relation to the fact that it's not a billion years between that and the rise of the Galactic Empire. You think like the Sith have been hiding in plain sight for however many years in relation to the prequel trilogy, as we know. This could really give a precursor to do we get the origin story from Palpatine? Do we get Palpatine's master? Do we get Darth Plagueis stories within Acolyte? But not only within Acolyte, but do we get to see maybe Plagueis' master? Like, where does it come from there? I like the dark side. It's
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that could really sort of, it could branch out. And I know people were a little bit skeptical of going too deep into the Star Wars universe, but for me, I'll throw that out the window. The more Star Wars stuff we can get and the more in-universe stuff we can get, it's just unreal.
I will lap it up like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Absolutely.
One thing I did find quite interesting.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the one show. It just happens to be on.
Yeah, it's a BBC show in the background in the UK. It happens.
So the actress Mandela Stenberg, who is in Acolyte.
Yep.
There's a really funny story. I only caught the end of it, so I might get it wrong.
Yeah.
She obviously she was on the set, and they were just talking, and she said, get to know Star Wars, and stuff like that. She turned around to this guy and said, "How did you get into Star Wars?" And he just looked at her blankly, and everyone was like, everyone went quiet on set, and she was like, "What have I said?" And it actually turns out it was Mark Hamill on set. She did not recognise him. I actually had to rewind it on the Skybox to make sure I heard it right.
What a legend!
Apparently, it's no spoilers. It was just that he happened to be in the studio, on the lot or whatever the film thing for something else that he was doing, and he just came in to see how recording was going. But could you imagine?
Hilarious. Could you imagine, like, how did you get into Star Wars? Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. An interesting point that I would like to bring up ever so slightly, if I may,
Mhm.
slightly off topic and slightly off piece. These double episode launch days. Now, with The Acolyte, I wasn't so fussed because I was hooked by episode 1.
Yeah.
However, with Kenobi, I needed episode 2. Otherwise, I don't think I would have sat there for a lot of it. Is doing a double episode launch weekend only beneficial if that it's like one large episode to leave you on a cliffhanger from episode 2, whereas on this one, I would have been quite satisfied with one episode and not both. Do you see what I mean?
I do see what you mean, and I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball into that because I've always said, for me personally, if I watch a series, it's normally by the 3rd to sometimes maybe the 5th episode. If it hasn't hooked me by then, it's almost like a no-go.
Right, okay.
I'll give you an example. Like, so for me, Breaking Bad,
the
first couple of episodes, I did struggle.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, because I was a bit late to that party.
Yeah.
So everyone was hyped about it. It was all over socials and everything like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I've got some free time. I'll give it a go. And by about, I think the 2nd or 3rd episode, I was a bit like, where's the big hype?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The first season of that because I hadn't read any of the books at the time.
Yeah.
I have now, and yes, it does all make sense. But yeah, I don't know. I can see what you're saying, and I do agree with it, and I do believe, some episodes, the first episode can be an absolute like buzz, and you're like, I want more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems to be a Disney thing, doesn't it? They do these 2 episode launch day things, and
especially for like TV shows that are only sort of between half hour and 45 minutes long.
And there's not a lot per series. There's like 8-10 episodes top. It's not like something like Supernatural where there's 22 episodes a season.
100%. Yeah, no, it was just an interesting sort of like wondered what everyone else's take on that was.
Yeah,
obviously, the more content that we can absorb, the better. Obviously, in relation to it, and I'm very much a person that I hate waiting for something. So waiting for this next episode is painful.
Yeah.
And it will be every single week. But it was just interesting to see your take and anyone else's take on this double drop, because it does seem to be a bit of a Disney thing. And I think it can work in some ways, like it did with Kenobi. The first episode, Kenobi, I wasn't necessarily like hooked.
Yeah.
And then the end of the second episode of Kenobi, I was like, I need more.
It's like, oh my God, it's a whole week I have to wait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, like, I probably could have waited a week after the first one. I probably could have waited the week after the second one. There was the second ending sort of cliffhangery sort of thing wasn't as big as the Kenobi one. I'm not saying it's not big or anything like that, and I'm not saying it's not worth the watch, but it wasn't as big as what the Kenobi one was, which really sort of sunk me into, I need to watch this on a weekly basis.
Yeah, because that's quite unlike you.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I normally wait for all of them to come out, and then I'll just hit them all in one sort of sitting. But yeah, I definitely think it's definitely worth the watch. I'm looking forward to see where the story of this is going to take us, and then hopefully seeing the potential branches that it could take us with explaining sort of how episode 1 came into be, because it's an origin story that I certainly want to see, and I'm sure there's lots of people that do want to see it. And also I'd quite like in-universe explanations as to why people have got like gold lightsabers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that would always be a good choice, because obviously it's not the same as like when I went to Galaxy's Edge. You went to like lightsaber building school and you got to choose your crystal. Obviously I went for a red one. Obviously, why not? But yes, no, I've always wondered, because
the gold one only appeared in last scene with Rey.
Yes,
in episode 9.
And it's purple, green, and blue. We know Mace Windu only got purple because of
Samuel L. Jackson. But there are people who have created in-universe explanations as to why these sabers exist. But it would quite nice to see.
Yeah, because you never really saw like someone go, what colour lightsaber do you want?
Exactly.
We all know red is associated with the dark side. But yes,
I think obviously a lot of the general consensus seems to be that it's based on styles, fighting styles, passion styles and stuff like that. But it'd be quite nice to see if in World Universe that the guys that are creating these sort of universes with these different coloured lightsabers give an explanation as to why they are, and to see how much they've taken from the community who have created those sort of explanations. So it will be interesting. Hopefully, we get a bit of an idea of where it's going with that. But yeah, Acolyte definitely worth a watch. If you've got an hour and a half to watch the first couple of episodes, get it watched because they are definitely worth the watch. That's for sure.
If you have or you haven't seen it yet, drop us a message. Be interesting to see what other people's views are, if they've noticed things that we haven't. Cause,
absolutely.
I mean, let's face it, certain things I've watched 3 or 4 times. I'm like, how did I not notice that?
Yeah,
it's quite obvious because I've read something online. So, Nerdy Nation, drop us a comment.
Absolutely.
Another thing that was the trailer that dropped, that you're all probably aware of now, how much my love for Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer dropped.
It dropped.
I've got to say, I absolutely loved it. I know it has got some criticism online, but for me personally, I'm just going to ignore that and give you my view on it. So it looks like it's going old school, which I'm very excited about because
Mirage is kind of taking it a step back towards that. This looks like it's taking it a step again.
Because and as well, obviously, there's 2 characters in it, and I got like Syndicate vibes. Where obviously you were Jacob Fry, Evie Fry. Certain missions you had to be Jacob because you were a bit more like boisterous and out there, and then Evie was more like the stealth, stealthy. Fry. She was more stealthy of the 2 Fries. So absolutely. To me, it just makes sense. You're going to have obviously different play styles and things like that. So yes, I definitely will be buying it. I have pre-ordered the collector's edition.
I didn't expect anything less of you, to be honest with you.
I mean, I couldn't not, could I?
Yeah, you've got everything else that comes with the Assassin's Creed world. You'll have to get images up on the socials of your collection when they're out and about.
Yes, well, they're all up in the loft at the moment in their original boxes. So yes, once I've tidied it up a little bit, because it does look like I've just thrown a grenade and everything's gone everywhere.
Yeah, lovely.
But I will get some pictures up.
For sure. No, it's a grand collection. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm looking forward to seeing the contrast between the is it the Shinobu, the ninja style, and the samurai style. See how that contrasts and plays off against each other, given the fact that we are potentially getting these 2 characters, completely different play styles. Does that lead into, are we going to get an option for a co-op campaign? Could we do a co-op campaign in relation to this? That'd be interesting to see.
I think it has the potential for that.
Absolutely, it's got potential for that.
To see what Ubisoft has done.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, it's looking like it could potentially be a really good game, and I'm definitely going to be partaking in playing through it.
Hell yeah!
Speaking of Ubisoft as well, I don't know about you, XDefiant has taken over my life a little bit.
Well, actually, and when I came around tonight to record this episode, I hadn't even heard of it, and obviously I watched you play a game, and yes, I think I'll be going home and downloading it.
Yeah, for a free-to-play game. Because it's a free-to-play game to download. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to download. It's a really, really good game. It's really sort of started to satisfy that gaming thirst that I've had. I don't know if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I was going, I haven't got a game to play. I'm really struggling to find a game to play to take me through until Star Wars Outlaws comes out at the end of August. And I'm not necessarily saying that XDefiant is going to take me there all the way up, but at the moment, it's really sort of like gripped hold of me.
Hit the spot.
It's really hit the spot. It's a bit of a new, interesting take on a first-person shooter. It is very Call of Duty, very, very Call of Duty. The guns are basically the same. They've got slightly different names for like hard point and stuff like that, but it's basically the same sort of stuff. But it's got just enough of a twist on it to actually think, do you know what? I actually quite like this.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it, but that's because I'm old. Like,
reaction times are slow as anything.
The reflexes are slow. The reaction time is slow. I'm not the best at it. However, I'm thoroughly enjoying playing through it and getting thoroughly destroyed. And it's it's really sort of, it's brought back a focus to first person shooters for me.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, I think is the new Call of Duty. Something's going on with that. Yeah. I haven't looked at Call of Duty since like Modern Warfare 2, the remake when Warzone first came out. Haven't touched it since.
I haven't. I must admit, I kind of fell out of love with Call of Duty because I think some of the online stuff just went like
Mad.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, it's not for me. But yeah, well, actually, it was quite funny. So I was scrolling through like Instagram the other day, and I saw it was a picture of Mount Rushmore, and it had like this, like, I think it was like they had like mask, like, what do you call it, like an eye, not like an eye mask, but like blindfolded.
Yeah,
that's the word I was
yeah.
looking for. And in orange writing, it had the true flies. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, here we go. What they'll just stop oil protesters up to this time? I literally generally thought it, because where I was scrolling through, so I didn't see what the actual write-up was.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I scrolled down, to my surprise, yes, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the true flies. Hence,
Black Ops 6. Has there been 5 before that?
well, this is what I
mean, I guess so. If they,
well, obviously, yeah,
they must be. But it kind of shows where my level of Call of Duty knowledge
and mine,
completely went to, given the fact that X Defiant is the first-person shooter game that I've probably played since Warzone was first out.
Yeah.
I never played Resurgence. I've never played the new Warzone map. Like, I played the original one way back when it started. Not played Call of Duty since. No. So the fact that X Defiant has dragged me back into a first-person shooter world, which made me think, hold on a second, there's a new Call of Duty. Is there a trailer coming soon?
There is. I believe there's like a little bit of like not an official like gameplay trailer at the moment. There's like all different like ones? Yeah, but it all seems to be like different leaders of the world, like good and bad. So they're talking little things. But on June the 9th, which is this Sunday, I believe,
a couple of days away.
Yeah, for British summertime, it will be at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably watch that and
work out your time zones, because
I can't. No. But yeah, honestly, I suppose on the next episode we will watch it and we'll give it. Put my teeth back in. Yeah. We will give our view on it.
Yeah, absolutely, and considering that,
and probably not pre-order it or play it, but we will still review it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If it does look decent and X Defiant does keep me grabbed onto as a first-person shooter, I might consider it. Admittedly, I'll probably play X Defiant until Star Wars comes out and then lose all interest in first-person shooters again. But that's just kind of the nature of the world. I'm kind of hoping that whatever I can play gets me through to Star Wars. Star Wars will get me through to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Launches on November the 15th. A buzz-in, that's this year. Can't wait.
3 days early for me.
Yeah, 3 days early for you, but I'll get it on November the 15th, so whoop-de-doo.
I'd have platinumed it by then.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
probably.
Probably not, to be fair.
But yeah, so that's coming out this year, and then hopefully in the next few months, because we've had nothing from the new Pokemon ZA. We got the launch trailer in February and then have had absolutely nothing since. Hopefully we get a release date for that, because that was said early 2025.
I think so. I'm going to go about February.
Yeah,
I reckon it'll be around Pokemon Day.
Yeah, I reckon, February, March sort of time sounds about right. But then I'm kind of hoping that Star Wars takes me through to Assassin's Creed will then take me through to Legends, and then hopefully I'll have something else to look forward to after that.
Nice little...
and it'll be able to slowly but surely transition, so I won't have this lull period where I've completed all my games and I don't know what I want to do with it next.
Yes.
So yeah, but yeah, that's trailer wise and gaming wise. I haven't seen anything else that's jumped out and bit me in the face.
I have the other day. I only saw it thanks to Poke_TP.
Yep.
It would appear, because he put a post saying, breaking news, the glory of Team Rocket.
Yes.
It says, like, the glory of Team Rocket is obviously referencing Team Rocket and could release early next year. So does that mean, could we see the return of a Dark Pokemon trading card collection?
That'd be cool.
I mean, I would love to see that. I've only got a few of the original ones left. So I kind of had, like, how you had like the original base set, then they've done 151 this year.
Yeah.
Could they do the same with like Dark Pokemon?
Yeah. So well, my view on it and the way that I looked at it, because obviously we all know I quite like collecting Pokemon cards.
And selling them after this weekend.
Well, yeah, indeed. Do you remember Evolutions from a few years ago, which was basically a base set reprint?
XY Evolutions, was it?
I think so, yeah. It was a base set reprint, and it added a few full arts and like megas and stuff like that. But it was basically a base set reprint, and obviously everyone was looking for the base set reprint Charizard, etc. I hope the glory of Team Rocket kind of does that.
Yeah.
So although it will maybe expand on the collection, but it will be a one-to-one sort of reprint of the original Team Rocket sets. hopefully the pack art is very similar and stuff like that. But if we can get that that sort of thing in, I think it will do wonderfully well.
And I think it's definitely like an exciting thing. That
absolutely.
Could, there's nothing confirmed. It's just
and it has completely meant that the other name that they trademarked in relation to the Pokemon trading cards, which I can't remember, I think it's like terrestrial energy, like something along those lines, has completely paled into insignificance because the glory of Team Rocket kind of thinks, we're going to get a Team Rocket reprint, which would just be unreal. I think it would get to the level that the Evolution set got when that came out. People went mad for that. Obviously the 151, when that came out, people got excited about that. I think this is going to be extra, and I think if they do bring back the dark cards, people are going to be hunting them, and people are going to completely swap the market. Yeah, I think it's going to be nuts.
Scalpers will probably be in their field day.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully we will manage to grab what we need to grab in relation to that, and we can do a few bits. But hopefully it's.
Although I do have like one word of advice to the Pokemon trading card company. For the love of God, can you stop releasing sets? As much as I love it, I'm still trying to complete Obsidian's Flames.
Yeah.
In fact, what was before that?
I think it was the Scarlet and Violet base.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to complete that, actually.
And then the one before that was 151.
Oh, yeah, no. So I'm trying to see.
This is what I mean.
I can't keep up.
There's so many sets that are being released sort of back to back to back. It's almost like the Japanese set gets released, the English set gets released alongside another Japanese set release.
Yeah. And you've got, is it Shrouded Fable coming out?
Yeah, like shortly.
August, I think.
But we've just had Twilight Masquerade come out, and it's just too much too quickly. Like, let's slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's give people the chance to actually complete sets and stuff like that, and then maybe it won't like absolutely ridiculously inflate the market value of some packs that we're trying to complete from previous, because the new sets are out and they become harder to get, etc.
Yeah, because I've noticed 151 single pack boosters have gone quite up in price.
Well, they're like £9 a pack.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, the Japanese booster boxes have come right down because they've reprinted it.
I think they're on the second reprint.
Yeah, but like £9 a booster pack when realistically most of the other ones are like £4 and all that sort of stuff. It just seems bonkers. I know people are like love it, and it's a popular set. It's a great set. I absolutely love the set. But like, can we slow down and at least let us gather our brains on one of them before we get another one, and then another one, and then another one?
This is how bad I am. So the other night, I wasn't going to say anything, but hopefully you find it hilarious.
Go on.
So the booklets that you get in the ET.
boxes, yeah.
So the booster packs that I've been opening for Twilight Masquerade, obviously been sleeving them, putting them in the folder. I thought, you know what, I'll start putting them in order.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the player's booklet. I was going through them, went through all the pages, couldn't find any cards that matched the booklet. I was like, what's going on here? Did it again. Nope. So I literally picked out one single card. It was the what was the one that I pulled the other night? Was it the Flossie?
Don't know. I can't remember.
It was one of the alt art cards. I thought, right, I'll start with an alt art card.
Yeah,
obviously
quite
easy to find.
Yeah.
Went through the book twice again. No. Closed the book. Temporal Forces book, wasn't it? I was like,
it started with a T.
Yeah,
it started with a T. What do you want?
Yeah. So I was like, I wasted about 10-15 minutes, if not probably longer.
Yeah, it's at that point that you probably think, yeah, maybe it's time for bed.
Yeah, I didn't bother. I was just like, no. I've had enough. I was like, that's that for tonight.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes to that Gloria Team Rocket. I'm excited for it.
I really hope it does.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But yeah, slow down with the Pokemon cards, and hopefully we get to finish some sets, which would be quite nice. Yeah. Homework time.
Yes. Was you a good boy?
Kind of. This was a last minute.
Was it a bit like you got your book out, quickly wrote it, handed it in?
Basically, yes. Yeah, it was very last minute. Very
Happy
last
days.
minute.
Do you want to go?
I'll go first because it was last minute, and I think it's. I think this one stands testament to the fact that it's probably the only Call of Duty campaign that I ever played. But the death of Ghost and Roach just was unreal. Like the betrayal.
Somebody else said that. The guy I chatted with on the Discord, the Escape, Davla, he said Ghost and Roach from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, it's probably the only Call of Duty campaign that I ever played, because I wasn't really a campaign player when it comes to first-person shooters. I just played the online sort of stuff. But that was just like, I remember sitting there going, no, what's happened here, sort of thing. And yeah, I think even to now, that's one of the ones that I definitely
didn't up there in the memory bank. I must admit.
Absolutely.
When I think I kind of was just looked at the TV screen and was like, what on earth has just happened?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. You kind of
thought like it was like a glitch, or like the red ring of death that you get on the 360. I was like,
absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's my one. I don't really think there is much more from the world of sort of gaming. I think general TV. I think Rita in Dexter really hit me hard.
Yes, it did.
That was
I did find
a shock to the system.
Did find her a little bit annoying.
Again, yes, but
yes, it was quite graphic actually.
It was horribly graphic,
especially
for the little one. But that was shocking at the time, and I was. However, typical Ben fashion, I was in the position where I could go straight on to the next season and see what happened, because I watched it like 3 years after it all came out.
I was the same. Where my old place of work, people were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, what is this Dexter?"
Yeah.
And literally the next day, my supervisor came in with all 7 seasons on DVD. So I literally blitzed them all before season 8. So it worked out that the last episode of season 7 was the night before season 8.
Yeah, so you could then move into it.
Talking of Dexter, I do believe there's a new series coming out.
There is. Is it? I saw the thing, because Michael C. Hall wished everyone luck.
That's it.
And it's the precursor. I think it's a prequel. I think it's Dexter becoming the Dexter that we knew from
season 1. It's kind of like Young Sheldon vibes, but with Dexter.
Yeah, basically. Young Sheldon vibes, but with serial killers.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that'll be an interesting look.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? TV character deaths?
I watch so much stuff. It's hard to pick. I'm going to go a bit old school.
Mm-hmm.
Grandad from Only Fools and Horses.
Oh God, yeah.
That hit home.
That is a long time ago as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great TV show. But
That just really hit home. Because I think it's like all the love that I've had for my granddad, and then obviously how Del and Rodney, the banter aside and that, and it was always like Jossing and stuff like that. And then obviously when he eventually did go, it was quite hard hitting. So TV, that one for me.
Yeah.
For film, I'm throwing it back to sort of like early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember the film Dragonheart?
No, in a word, but
well, fair enough.
Yeah.
So the voice of Draco was the legend that's Sean Connery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I won't do an impression.
No, please don't.
But I think I've saved a lot of videos on that. But yes, anyway, he was the dragon in Dragon. He died in it to save the main character, and I just remember seeing that in the cinema, and I just got really emotional. I was like 5 at the time, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just really hit
home. Yeah. Obviously, some of the Nerdy Nation have done their homework as well, so props to them. Ben's 92 went with Iron Man. Again, I think we knew it was coming-ish, but like it still hurt.
I mean, it did, didn't it?
It still hurt. Like there's not really much you can say about that. I think it hurt anyone who really enjoyed them sort of TV series and stuff like that. But yeah, Tone Zone TCG, Bottles in Banjo-Tooie.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, what a game that was.
You're not wrong there. But yeah, what a death. I Dig in Dirt, Goose in Top Gun.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's, again, a general consensus for a lot of people.
I think a lot of people will say with that.
Yeah, I think generationally that's a bit of a shock to the system, and it took 25 years to get another film out of it. So I think they finally got over it and did the new one. Again, great couple of films there.
Yes.
What a couple of films.
Josh from Coatlets Walls, he said he hasn't played a video game in so long, but the one that stays with him is the death of Gary's Raticate in Pokemon Red and Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said, I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I will do it for the next episode, that there's a theory about it. And apparently, as the game player, we're the ones responsible for it.
Sounds about right.
So I'm going to that's my homework for the next episode. I'm going to deep dive into that and see what you can find.
Just slightly piggybacking off of Josh's point, and it wasn't really a permanent death, but it was kind of like, so Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red and Blue Rescue Team, the original Mystery Dungeons, the stories in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon are heartfelt anyway.
Yes.
But at the end of that, it's not a death, it's kind of like a permanent going away. You've done what you needed to do, so you no longer need to be there. Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Emotional damage to my 14-year-old self that still sticks with me today.
Emotionally scarred.
To the point where even on the new one, where they remastered it in Rescue Team DX, I still welled up when the end of that came round. Emotional damage beyond all compare. So yeah, thanks, Josh. You've allowed me to relive some painful memories, and I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I'll have to console Ben after the end of this episode. So thanks for that. You got Pokemon Mel. She went for Erin from Attack of the Titan. I haven't seen the TV series, but I did Google how he did die. That's pretty brutal, to be fair. So yeah, kudos on that one. And she also went for Leech from X-Men '97.
Yeah,
I did watch that, and yes, it tugged on the heartstrings.
Yeah, hard watch for most people, that one.
Trav, I'll let you read this one, actually. Go on, Ben.
Oh, Trav. So Trav said, let's put this to bed. If you don't know, then shame on you, but Aerith's death from Final Fantasy VII was a seriously heavy hitter. Shame on me. I don't know. I never really got into the Final Fantasies. And I think that was my own fault, because the first one I played was Final Fantasy 13-2, which I think is generally considered the worst Final Fantasy in history. I played about an hour of it and got very, very, I just couldn't get into it.
Gave up.
So yeah, maybe I'll dive into the world of Final Fantasy one day, and I'll probably have a very, very similar.
7's recently been remastered. From memory.
Yeah, and I think I'll probably have a very similar opinion of Trav. But yeah, shame on me, Trav. My apologies. I will find out, and then I will probably agree with you. So, but yeah, and yeah, that's everyone's homework that was completed. Good on them.
Trav did have one more.
Oh, go on.
And I think everyone will totally agree on this. Even now, I'm getting a bit emotional thinking about it. And it's the one where Pikachu cries in Mewtwo Strikes Back because he thinks Ash is dead when he's, and then obviously he brings him back. Yeah. And it's just like
emotional damage. Yeah.
Even now, I'm like, I want to go home and watch
the film. Yeah. Fair enough. Thanks, Trav. And thanks everyone for allowing us to really bring a downer on this episode. Oh dear, emotional damage. No homework this week, mainly because we haven't thought of anything. If anyone has anything interesting that they would like for homework going forward in the future, please drop us a message. Be interesting to hear thoughts and questions in relation to the world of the Nerdy Nation.
Yes.
So I think that's all.
I just have two things to add.
Oh, go on.
So I need to give it. Well, you know me. I like to add.
Yeah.
I like to add, but I can't take away because I'm crap at maths. Anyway, big shout out to Ace Trainer Smug, because obviously the other week Man United won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
He was really going. He said to me, "Up the Reds and up the Nerdy Nation." Yeah. So I'm all for that.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, each to their own.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah, I know it's not your forte, but still, I'm gonna soak that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, the Ben and Lewis Cup. It's been a bit quiet. That's partly my fault because I just haven't had the time to set new challenges up.
Yeah.
However, I do have some interesting news, and it is new to Ben as well.
I was going to say this is new to me.
Yes, I only set. Well, I haven't officially set it up yet, but last night I was in talks with the legend that is, and I can't find it on my notes, and I should know, and I feel really bad, but Art O'Toads.
Oh, okay.
I post a lot of his amazing artwork.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a challenge for us.
Oh God. Okay, here we go.
I'm not going to reveal it. I'm just teasing you all, I'm tantalising you all,
tantalising me as well, because this is news to me.
So yes, Nerdy Nation, keep your eyes peeled for our first challenge set by a follower.
Yes, indeed, and I'm
God
scared.
help us is all I can say.
I'm scared as well.
I'm scared and I know what it is.
I'm scared and I don't know what it is. But yeah, so Ben and Lewis coming back. Ben and Lewis Cup coming back. Yeah, cool.
That's it.
Cool.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.